Hello YouTube, this is Zach, and today I'm going to analyze a request from my editor. She told me that this is going crazy, going viral right now in the Philippines or something, so I want to check it out and see what's going on, see what all the hype is all about. This is Janine Berdin. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I have no idea what this is. I've never heard it before, so I'm in for a surprise, I guess. The song is What If I Miss You for the Rest of My Life. It was performed on Wish 107.5. I'm a professional singing teacher. If you did not know, I do a lot of pausing because I do a lot of analyzing. I'm not gonna just be like, oh my god, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna try to teach you something. So yeah, let's get right to it. Let's see what this is all about.
Wish 107.5.
How could I forget your pretty face? When you go to places, do you think of me? Please think of me. A year has passed and I thought I've moved on. I admit you won now, please come back to me. Won't you come back to me?
Is there another singer? Is there a second person singing? I hear a second voice in there. Okay, so a few general thoughts. This is very much being performed and sung in the mold of like the Western sort of American singer-songwriter. Kind of that breathy, slightly covered sounds. Some of us like to use the term covered sound with that kind of slightly airy, breathy thing. Now, that's not the only definition you're going to hear for the word covered. It's funny, I was actually talking to one of my other students about this last week. Covered is one of these slightly tenuous terms, and it can mean different things in different contexts. But what I mean here for covering is that slightly breathy, slightly airy, but still enough sound where it doesn't sound like a whisper. There are a lot of different ways that people can try to create the sound. I prefer to teach people to use the messa di voce approach, which is where we stay with stable chord closure. We keep it on the breath, which means that we keep the sound consistent. We keep it sounding like a speech-like sound, and you can control the volume this way. Like there's a lot of messa di voce exercises you can do. I've talked about this on previous videos. They're very difficult. They take a lot of work, but like a very if you want to kind of emulate a softer sound without making it too terribly breathy, what you can do is you can practice things like this. Like if you just take a random comfortable pitch, kind of go like that and just crescendo and decrescendo back to kind of loud, then back to soft again. That's a good way to practice. Now those exercises are very difficult. I did an extremely easy version of it, but that's typically the type of work that you can do to make this softer, breathier, kind of lighter sound without doing damage to your vocal cords. Because if you don't get stable chord closure when you speak or when you sing, that can cause you damage. So you have to be very careful when you sing breathy like this, not to let it go down that path. But she's got a nice tone. It's very honest. I was wondering if there's a second singer in there because it sounds like there's a vocal harmony, but it's only showing her, so I can't really tell. But yeah, it's a very honest singing sound, very much cut in the cloth of the singer-songwriter kind of thing. What I do like about this sound, for her in particular, is that she's not straying off into that. Like there's sometimes when I hear some of these singer-songwriter types where the sound gets so muddled with the effect that they use for that style that you can't hear the words. But in this case, the lyrics are very clear. You can hear them very clearly. So she does a good job of that. So that's good stuff.
People come and go sometimes. Call me your favorite one last time. I'll never get to find no one like you. You were all I wanted. You were all I need. Us is all I'll be. People come and
Nice melisma.
go sometimes. Call me your favorite one last time. 'Cause I have swallowed all my pride.
I'm trying to find a spot to stop, but it kind of just goes. Like she's got a really good sense of line, good legato. I've talked about it a million times on this channel. The pop-up will be here so you can see what it means. Consistent line. Like, and that's why it was hard for me to find a spot to stop to make commentary, because she was just carrying the line, carrying the line. Really nice. One thing that I noticed earlier that I wanted to stop, but I didn't. She's got really good onsets, and I haven't talked about onsets on this channel in a long time, but onsets are basically the way that you begin a word that starts with a vowel. So like open, even, apple, indigo, umbrella, words like that. You want to avoid having that that really kind of like hard glottal onset, that pop sound. You want to avoid that. She does a really good job of making her onsets really clean. Let me see if I can find a quick example. Go back a bit. I think right here. Wait. Well, where was it? Right there on the you can hear how she begun the word accept, I guess, and you don't hear it's not really aggressive. It's just a really nice clean onset. When you make an onset, when you make a vowel sound, it should sound like the vowel just comes out of thin air. Open, even. It shouldn't sound like open, even, because when you make those sounds, you're getting this pop of the vocal folds together. And without getting into the science of it too much, if you do that too often, you'll cause vocal damage over time. Now, I'm not saying that you do 2 or 3 glottal onsets, you're going to get nodules, but I mean, like, if you develop that as a habit over 10 years, 5 years, or whatever, yeah, it could definitely cause vocal problems. I've seen it. So it's really nice that she's cleaned her onsets up to be pretty even, pretty balanced, pretty consistent, and not destructive. That's usually something that I have to coach out of students really early on when they come to me. We have to really work on cleaning those onsets up. In case you did not know, it is harder than ever to grow on this platform. So please like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. There are like 80% of you who watch these videos who don't subscribe. Click the subscribe button, please. It helps me so much. On that note, I also am a professional singing teacher. I teach voice lessons for a living. Join my Discord server if you're interested in that kind of thing. I teach all the time. I'd be more than happy to give you a free assessment. It's totally free, 30 minutes, where you can get a good idea of where your voice is at, and we can game plan for the future from there. I also have a Patreon, I have memberships, I have a merch store, all kinds of ways that you can support this channel. Please consider supporting me. I would appreciate it so much. Thank you, and back to the video. Yeah, nice change of dynamics. She had the kind of the bigger, more forte sound, back down to something a little softer again. It's cool. The song just opened up like that, right? And what's really good about her method of singing, the way she's choosing to sing this, is the first half of the song kind of has this lighter, I wouldn't call it somber, but just a little less aggressive sound. But as soon as the song opens up, her voice matches it. She really cranks up the chord closure, turns up the dynamics, gets the volume a little bit higher. And the melismas go, so melisma being like the riffs and runs, as the contemporary people call it, where you sing multiple notes on one vowel. Earlier in the song, the melismas were a little more fluid, and they kind of had like da-da, kind of like that sort of thing going on. But now the melismas are much more, they're longer, they've got more duration on each note, and there's less motion, but she keeps the melisma intact, and she carries individual vowels for really long periods of time, and it creates this nice contrast with the more rhythmic aspect of what's going on in the music. And that's a common thing that you'll see even in classical compositions, where the busier the rhythm section is, the longer the melody notes are, because it creates, like, you don't want them to be fighting against each other too much, right? So if she were doing all these crazy fast melismas along with the guitars and the drums doing this more amped up rhythmic stuff, well, it's just going to sound like a mess. So she does a really good job of creating that contrast while building the dynamics along with the band. It's good stuff. Shows really good musical sensitivity. Wow. That's good. That's good. She's a good singer. It's actually giving me Otto vibes. I've been doing a lot of analysis of the Japanese singer Otto lately, and this kind of razor's edge, walking a fine line of the voice kind of like completely collapsing and keeping control over it to create these almost what's the word? I don't want to say guttural sounds. They're not guttural, but these slightly raspy, edgy kind of sounds that cause the voice to flip into these, like, temporarily into these higher registers. Like let me give you an example. Like you can hear these little like flip ups in the middle of these phrases, and the "I will wait." You can hear it kind of like flip up into a really quickly into a higher register. Right here. That kind of, I don't even know what you, not a whine, I don't know what you would call it, but that's that's just an example of her like living on the edge. That's their voice saying, okay, we're gonna push this as far as we can go before we break. So yeah, it's interesting. It's very Otto-esque. It's good. I like the melody of this song. I like the intensity of the song, and I like her delivery of it. I think that she does a really good job of following the contour of the music, and again, emotions can be like a subjective thing, right? Like I can't tell you how to feel. You can't tell me how to feel. I can't tell you exactly what she's feeling. I mean, obviously she's emoting in this, but she's doing a really good job of being inflective, having inflection in what she's singing. So it creates an emotional effect that should resonate with the listener, and that's really nice. It's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, that's.
How could I forget your pretty face when you go to places?
Back down, taking it down a notch with the contour of the band. Really nice.
Please think of me.
Wish Exclusive on Wish 1075.
I like the ending. That's nice. Yeah, so that was quite a performance. The song was a lot shorter than I expected. I guess I should have looked at the timestamp and I would have seen that. But yeah, really, really nice control of her dynamics. That's the biggest thing I took away from this, is like she did a great job of going all the way across the dynamic spectrum from the piano to the forte, and letting the emotional contour of the song follow that. And she did a good job of being musically sensitive and matching her intensity with the band. So really nice stuff. Great artist. I can see why she's going viral, because she does a good job of having that modern popular sound with some just really stable, solid musical foundational ideas going on. Like, she just understands how music works, and she makes her voice fit into the ensemble very well. So great stuff. I hope you all enjoyed this analysis, and like and subscribe, and I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.